Welcome back, guys. Dirk the Red Panda here with the second episode of the Hayseed Night. Now, if you guys were watching my last Tennis Ace video and getting like a kind of a look in the description, basically I kind of told you that there's some art changes in the Hayseed Night that I was told about by the creator of this game, SandraMJ. Hopefully I got that right. But yeah, they were basically telling me how with Ader, his style is like, you know, it's not supposed to be as buff, and we got in this conversation when I made my comment on Twitter about looking at the armpit, and so yeah, basically they were like, yeah, Ader is supposed to look like this, but yeah, like this new style is supposed to be a bit more of like a slender look, kind of more like what a deer or elk or whatever would look like in real life, and so that's gonna be, I think, pretty interesting to say the least. Like, at least it's more true to, I think, like the species. So I don't know, like, I mean, I could see good in both, so like, you know, fence sitting on that, but I think, you know, when in doubt, I mean, honestly, the newer style I think is pretty good. Honestly, like, everything that Sandra's drawn is pretty good in general. It's never a judgment on the talent. I think it's just, you know, just personal preference really at this point. And with that out of the way, that's pretty much the whole entire announcement I had to make before the video. Let's hop right into the second episode. Here we go. Okay, so we left off with us figuring out that Jasif was her name. Yeah, we figured out that Jasif was Bardon or something like that. She's some kind of different ethnicity or something like that. I'm really out of context with this. It's been a while, yeah. So yeah, here we go. Me as the narrator. Ader had to hold back a yelp. He's been so distracted by the rest of her features that... No way. I wasn't looking at her, Ader yelled internally. Beads of sweat began falling from his temples as his face became even more flustered. There's no way But as if meaning to aggravate, geez, I'm blanking out. I think it's aggravate, with an E. Alright, so... But as if meaning to aggravate his inner turmoil, Jasif smiled one last time with a mischievous glint in her eyes.
Don't worry, I'll see you around. Handsome.
She knows. Ader was so many things. He was goofy, he was loud, he had a smile that could light up a whole town. He was gigantic, and yet, if there was a thing he'd never call himself, it was, no doubt, handsome. After all, a buck's worth may as well be as large as his horns are, and his were, well, tiny. Almost childlike. So that offhanded compliment, that mere insinuation that someone had found him actually good looking made his heart flutter. Oh yeah, looks go based on horns for deer and stuff. Forgot about that. Everything else is very aesthetic. Yeah, I could see why the art changed. And by flutter, I mean that it may as well have burst out of his chest right then. So for just 1 second, he forgot that the lady in front of him was horned. For a moment, he forgot all the things he'd heard about gazelles. Alright. Okay, so she is a gazelle. Alright. Getting that clarified. Alright. Anyway, his face turned red. His jaw came loose. but had he been able to articulate, he'd have found he'd completely forgotten the ability to talk. Just like me right now, for some reason. Right now, I just feel like I'm straight slurring these lines. Being hard on myself. Here we go, moving on. He still knew how to do one thing, though. No timer again. Run. Still in the constant state of panic. Got that title right. This time, his shame was stronger than the wall. The sun was already up in the sky by the time Ader managed to remember that he was supposed to go to the bazaar. Wait, wasn't that capitalized in the last one? Might just be me. It's been a whole episode, and I didn't look back at it.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to arrive so late. Please don't kill me.
But lo and behold, there was no one around.
I'm the first.
Yep, nobody's late. I'm just early. I love that logic. Party don't start till I walk in.
Wait,
baby.
now's not the time for that. Ada could get here any...
Ader knew better than to finish that sentence. Sensing a presence behind his back, he turned around slowly. Disbus. No, not gonna do it. This is so sad. Alexa, play.
Boss? I gotcha. You really need to stop sneaking up on people.
That's pretty cool. We got more artwork now. Intimidating, I see. Eima pointed at the ground. A few wooden beams were lying next to a sheet dyed in a vibrant red.
Right, I know I was supposed to prepare the stall, but you were too rough during yesterday's fight, so I overslept, and then I kinda got lost in the way, and...
Eima's silent glare told him that she didn't believe a single word, but she didn't care enough to pry either.
Hey, don't look at me like that! You arrived late too!
Eima added, "Oh, so those are just for adding characters. Oh. I thought those were just like additions, like updates or whatnot. Silly me." She pointed at her hair. It was dripping drops of green water.
And how is it my fault that you were busy dyeing your hair?
Leaving him with that perfectly valid question unanswered, she walked back to pick up a big bag she left a few steps away. She lifted it up with a single hand and then headed towards the stall, closely followed by Ader. It was about time that they began working. A sudden thought popped up in Ader's mind as he helped her set up the carpet.
So, how come the patron ain't here? Is it gonna be just the two of us today?
Eima simply shrugged.
You won't tell your dad I arrived late, right, boss?
I get the feeling that this person's a no bullshit kind of character. Just a feeling. She punched his arm with such strength that she almost made him fall sideways. Yep, called it.
Ow! What did I... Oh, tell. Sorry, boss.
Tell what? What's happening? This little reminder that was a sensitive issue effectively killed the conversation. Oh crap. Oh crap. Oh crap. Should have said that. Yeah. Well, I'm feeling bad now. Alright, people from all over Earlum Earlum, I think is right. I pronounced it as Earlum before. I think it's Earlum. Yeah, people from all over Earlum began congregating in the bazaar, turning the walled plaza into a sea of spice, trinkets, and deer. The currents of that sea were still difficult to understand for Ader, who often found himself pushed to the ground in the busiest hours. Today would be especially lively. It was the beginning of Donsoon season, and so the festive Ayokay had to make sure to bid a proper farewell to the rain clouds so they'd be back again by the end of it. Alright, what's Donsoon? This better be in the dictionary. Sweet it is. Alright, Donsoon, the name given to the hottest season in the year of Akazor, when clouds migrate back to far beyond the mountains of the spine of Ahime. There won't be rain in the Ayokay steppes for 6 full moons, and once the clouds return, they bring ice with them as a present from the frozen lands. Alright, so basically summer. I feel you there. I've been having heat waves here. It's not a good feeling, to say the least. Alright, now that we're informed, a pleasant change from Ader's usual day-to-day, working in Eima's forge under the continuous risk of suffering a heat stroke or third-degree burns. Or that's what he thought at first.
Welcome, welcome! We have the best prices in town! Come see what goods we offer!
There was no reaction whatsoever in his incessant yelling. Or to his incessant yelling, sorry. Other than Eima snickering at him for trying so hard, that is.
You're supposed to help out too, you know.
We're not gonna get much from this character, are we? Wait, has she even spoken? Can't backlog it now. I mean, don't want to go back. Alright, with a long sigh, Eima sat up and cast a tired glance over the carpet. She reached out and grabbed a small shiny dagger. After checking its sharpness against her gloves, she began stabbing the air as possible customers approached the stall, attempting to showcase its intended use. Ader quickly put his hands over her shoulders, discreetly bringing her arms down.
You know what? I take it back. You're always working really hard. So, just let me take care of this, boss.
He did his best attempt at a natural smile. Eima, who couldn't care less about any of this, simply shrugged and sat back, still wielding the knife. She let her hand fall on one of the stones that had paved the bazaar and effortlessly tore it from the ground, deciding that it'd serve better as a sharpening tool.
That's not helping.
Alright, what's going on? What's going on now? Scene change. The hours passed by slowly and painfully, for they were completely ignored by any passerby. Well, actually, avoided rather than ignored. It was no surprise. The merchant, Ader's patron, and his mute daughter were two of the most despised people in the city. Okay, so she is mute. Alright, so my comment about her not speaking, take that back. It's been confirmed. It's been confirmed. Alright, in spite of incredible variety of antiquities. Okay, in spite of the incredible variety of antiquities and smithery that the merchant had for sale, no one ever bought a single thing. And there were plenty of reasons for that. Oh boy. Even Ader had some serious doubts about working for an old man whose fur was redder than blood and an albino smith that insisted on dyeing her hair green. Yeah, them people that dye their hair, such horrible people, right? I mean, seriously, why do people get so caught up about that? I mean, if it's just one color or something like that, like, even if you do multiple colors, I mean, it's your hair, it's your consequences, like, really, I really don't care. Seriously, just do your thing. That's my opinion on dyed hair. That is my political commentary for the episode. Alright, the fact that they worked independently for heirlooms? I get earlooms and then heirlooms. Alright, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be a really tough one. The fact that they worked independently from Alrums. Oh my goodness, I've been pronouncing that so wrong. I'm gonna get it this time. The fact that they worked independently from Alrum's Trader Guild probably had something to do with it too. Next line. In any case, it was well afternoon that they hadn't done anything but sit around the whole day. Ader pressed his lips together and began drumming his fingers against the floor. Let me put my arm around you. It's the dang thing about when you have sprites in a set position like that. It's kind of hard when you're like, gotta put them in this position, but it looks kind of like they're... I mean, you can't help it though. That's kind of the thing about visual novels. You can only do so much with a single sprite. Like, you're not gonna go back and be like, let me change his arm position now, and then now, and then now. So yeah, let me just swoop in here. He looked askance at Eima, hoping his subtle call for attention had stirred her curiosity. But there was no answer. He'd have to be the one to actually break the silence as usual.
So, hey Eima. You know when I said that I arrived late today because I got lost and stuff?
Story time. Eima stopped hitting the rock with the blade. She barely moved her eyes towards Ader. Almost mispronounced that. Good going, me. That Elrum really got me totally messed up, to say the least.
Well, there's more to that. It's because I
saw a beast, I ran through a wall, and I saw a gazelle. If you saw a gazelle, does that mean something? Like, is this gonna be like, she's gonna get very pissy, or does this mean... I want to click I saw a gazelle. The other two feel very dumb and out of place. Like, we already did I saw a beast earlier. But, I mean, I ran through a wall. Seems like typical Ader. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. I saw a gazelle.
A gazelle girl. Strutting her butt.
Eima's inquisitive gaze suddenly made Ader very conscious about his own words and thoughts. I did not think it was gonna go there. But I'm still glad I made that choice. Ader was most certainly not used to having her pay attention to him when he spoke.
But ugly face? So I just ran away because she was so awful. Ugh, yeah.
Got that one cleared up. It's only my skill level when it comes to this stuff. No, I'm kidding. I have a bit more tact than this. Just a little. Ader could feel how Eima's lilac eyes stared at his very soul, piercing a hole with a question that she meant to ask. Why, it was such an intense look that he felt flustered. With her usual silent demeanor, Eima brought her two gloved hands in front of her face. She balled them both into a fist, raising just her index fingers. Then she lifted them until they rested on her forehead like tiny horns.
Horns?
Okay. Oh, with a quick motion, she took her horns to her mouth, biting them.
I'm not a horn eater, damn it! I like toes!
I see what you mean there. Okay, now I'm extra seeing what you mean there. I took that like 2 different ways. Wow. Is it really taboo for gazelles and deers? I am not sure. The best way to define Ana's smile at this precise moment would be terrifyingly mean. While her bad temper was known and feared among the other merchants, it was unusual for her to be so acidic, especially towards Ader. Our dear boy couldn't help but to notice this change, and he wasn't going to keep to himself about it, of course.
You're acting really weird, boss.
The smile on her face vanished, replaced instead by a grimace. In response to this affirmation, Eima merely shifted her gaze back to the blade and resumed her task, pretending she hadn't heard him. But if Ader was known for one thing, it was his incessant need to stick his nose into everyone's business. What's wrong? Are you scared? Both are prying, but what's wrong has a little more tact. And if we want to make Ader as tactful as possible, meaning a bit more tactful than he should ever be, we're gonna do what's wrong.
What's wrong, Eima?
A wrinkle formed over her nose as she focused on keeping calm, but Ader didn't get the message.
Come on, you know you can tell me anything.
No sooner he'd finished that sentence, Eima slammed her dagger. Eima slammed the dagger she was sharpening against the ground, effectively sinking its tip into the ground.
Right, I mean, I know you can't tell me, but if you figure out any way you can tell me how you feel,
Maybe I should have done Are You Scared? Because she would have just been able to do yes or no. Shoot, I'm so bad at this. Eima got up all of a sudden, her face red in anger. Ader was preparing himself mentally for the beating that he expected would ensue. But instead, she just plopped down on the ground, sitting with her back against his. Or face against back. Our dear was puzzled, to say the least. Or our dear buck was puzzled, to say the least. But Eima didn't even make a sound, as usual. She just sat behind him, completely still and hidden from the public eye. Of course, the possibility of getting whacked in the head was now more real than ever, so Ader didn't even attempt to guess why she'd ever do that. Stealth mode engaged. I feel like she's just gonna be like, turns around, whack, right on the head. Like, I'm calling it right here.
what was the patron thinking?
Well, he probably didn't expect you two to play, hide and seek in the stall.
What the fuck? Alright, is this a customer? Hello, random customer. Ader and Eima Ader and Eima immediately jumped away from each other, doing their worst best attempt at looking half professional. A thunderous laugh resonated over the ruckus of the bazaar. Oh, so the bazaar is like a species animal type? Okay. That's what I'm getting here. Elagrub? Okay. Elagrub. For future reference, Elagrub. Elagrub. I'm gonna probably mispronounce it, but Elagrab. Let's see how this goes.
Respectable Elagrab Buntalos to you, boy.
And it's still wrong the way I pronounce it. Elagrab. Alright. Looking spiffy there, Elagrab. Elagrab. God dang it! Trying so hard. Man.
But please, don't
like
hold back on my account. I'll just look the other way.
Loving the voice, loving the look. So far, one of my favorite characters. Out of 4, right? He is my favorite character at the moment.
What?
Ooh, we got a side character with him too. And so appeared the man that was so red that it would seem that he'd stolen all the color his daughter was lacking. Well, he hasn't the beard though. I mean, technically, yeah. But seriously though, definitely red fur to say the least. Almost looks very skin-like.
Patron?
So is it gonna be patron or merchant?
So he gets the respectful treatment and I don't. I see how it is.
I think shouting patron is not that proper, to say the least. Take it easy, Elagrab. Take it easy, man. It's not you, it's me.
What's that salacious doll cop doing to my daughter now?
Oh boy. We got the
They're
shotgun
just
type of dad right here.
strengthening their ties of friendship. Or is this a budding love?
Everybody's got a pride when a guy and a girl are just friends. They gotta be a boyfriend and girlfriend. The classic stereotype. But yeah, lots of people think that. Too many people. Oh, we got a little sword animation. I like how it's going like up and down with the screen too. Like, very good job with like the you know, motion, like, you know, the motion coding. Good job. All right, the merchant shook his cane, hitting Elagrab's twiggy leg with a loud thunk. The tree man just wiggled his mustache in response.
Whoa, wait! We weren't doing anything, patron.
Just wielding
That's
knives
the
and
problem,
daggers.
you cumber ground! You loiter sack! You!
Well, what happens when you fail at your job? Gonna get yelled at by the upper levels. A coughing fit saved Ader from more old-timey insults which he could barely comprehend. The weak, frail old man. Once he recovered, the merchant put his bearded face next to Ader's, resting the tip of his cane on Ader's chest. His very big chest right now. For now. I wonder if this, like, part here is gonna change, too. Like, I'm assuming it's gonna be all of it, but I don't know. Should I continue this? Like, should I just not go back for it when the new art style comes, or should I, like, start from the beginning? You guys can tell me in the comments. Or Twitter, whoever. Yep. Phlegm. Alright. Yeah, so, yeah, tell me in the comments or Twitter what you think about that. He opened his toothless mouth slowly, his breath reeking more like bleach than liquor.
You haven't sold a single thing, have you?
Sorry, boss. Big boss. Like, I know his name's the merchant, but I'm just gonna call him Big Boss. Because you got boss, then Big Boss. Right here. Silent exclamation. Screams and mute.
Now, that's hardly their fault, Red.
I'm sure this Yaltson was just frolicking with my daughter as usual!
Didn't you hire them though? Or didn't you hire him though? So if he's just sitting there with your daughter working, if he's just sitting there working, they have nothing to do, what else are you gonna expect them to do? Just like wholly look in different directions and be like, nothing to do here.
She's old enough to frolic as she pleases.
That's right, Ilgrub, that's right. She's an adult. She threw it on the ground. Why am I doing Lonely Island references? I am immature.
She hasn't even come of age yet!
Oh crap, and I am taking that back. What is it with me saying stuff and then the next slide totally refuting that?
Of course she hasn't.
Oh boy.
There's no way for her to pass that right.
Okay, so is it like legality age, or is it just straight up, she's not done the thing to become the adult? Whatever.
Of course there is! She just needs to open her mouth and stop being an idiot!
Oof. Oof. Okay, I feel like this is gonna be the big conflict of interest in this story.
She's mute, patron.
Slowly.
I wish that rub off on you! And maybe you'd learn to keep your mouth shut when adults are talking!
What?
Oof.
I did pass the coming of age right. I'm an adult too!
Shut up! Don't you have anything to say about this, insolent child?
The ultimate comeback when you have nothing else to say. Shut up. It's like low key. Like I just feel like anytime you say the word "shut up" in an argument, you just straight up lost that thing. Like you need to end there.
Aina?
She walked away while you two were arguing.
God, I actually just love his voice. It just feels so like, I don't know. I just feel like it's so full for some reason. Like it's so professionally full for. I mean, all the voice actors are really good on here. I just feel like with Ilgrub's deep voice, I don't know. I could totally see this. Like, I could totally see him using this voice in multiple places. Or I feel like it's been in other places too. It has different people doing it. I don't know. Just something about his voice. Being a deep voice person. Deep voice to deep voice. I like it.
Then why didn't you say so sooner, you overgrown sapling?
She looked like she needed it.
This is all your fault! And yours!
Sure, don't blame yourself for starting the argument. He stabbed Ader's nose with the tip of his finger.
Mine?
Boop. That's the second thought I had come to me about
That
that.
stupid child's been acting up since you first arrived!
Well, has she been mute her whole life? If she's been a mute, I assume she's not started this when when Ader came.
Don't
That's just
blame
my
the
thought.
poor boy. She's always had an attitude, and you know it.
I don't care!
Blaming the faults of your own on other people.
You
Great
two
work, great
better go
work.
bugger off somewhere else! Or I swear to Arab that I'll hit you so hard that you'll be cropping out your teeth for a week!
Alright, first laugh of the episode. Unlike first episode where I laughed a bajillion times. That's legit. That will be an insult I will use in the future. But where are your teeth? Oh. Both Ader and Ilgrub winced at that. I could see him doing it. Sad part. The thud, thud, thud. Ader seemed about to complain, so Illigrab didn't hesitate.
Come on, Ader! Those two clearly want some alone time. And he'll have plenty of that when I leave him tied to the pyre next time I find a mob outside the shop.
Oh boy. Illigrab took Ader by the cape and lifted him off the ground as they walked away. Alright, so I'm gonna stop here. Okay, I'm not gonna read that line just to keep you in suspense, but that's where I'm gonna end this episode of the Hayseed Nights. And until next time, take care, guys.